Hi, everyone. I'm going to answer a very specific question today that's coming up a lot. And the question is, why should I buy an existing business versus starting one? Now, I appreciate this can be a bit of a polarizing topic because lots of people get very excited about the whole journey of startup. And I get that. I get the whole idea that it's a creative process. You can kind of look out there into the world and you can see a big problem to be solved. And then you want to be able to solve that problem in a really powerful way. And, in many ways, a lot of people define entrepreneurship as that specific thing. But the reason that I suggest looking at buying businesses is because there's one really big fact, right? That something like 8 out of every 10 businesses that start don't end up going to anything sizable, meaningful, creating value for the founder. They fail because of lots of different reasons, but one of the main reasons is it's hard to start a business. You've got to, get everything set up from scratch. You've got to find customers. You've got to build your processes. You've got to usually exist or build the thing with limited resources anyway. It takes capital, all these different things. And a lot of those dimensions coming together put a lot of stress on that entrepreneur to be successful. So people say to me, what's more important? Is it skill set or is it mindset in business? And I say it's mindset. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's 100% mindset, but it's damn close. It's up there with 70 to 80% because you've got to really be able to take on that roller coaster in a way that's going to basically, help you to become successful. And a lot of that's about not being too emotional in that whole journey. Now, why I advise you should always look at buying businesses, doing acquisitions, is a lot of the groundwork, a lot of the hard work is taken out of it, particularly if you buy a business that's already profitable, already successful, it already has customers, it already has the fundamentals in place, but it may not be optimized. So what I mean by that is it's performing well. As I said, it's making profit, it's providing an income for the owner. It might even be quite a sizable business, but it might be outdated. It might not have the latest thinking in terms of marketing and operations, all that sort of stuff in place. So you can actually come into a business that's already established. And if you know anything about some of the more modern techniques of marketing, like I talk about on Scale Up Your Business, be that using social media, the power of personal branding, how you can sort of build an audience that then can allow you to create multiple streams of income. All of those more progressive strategies and tactics can be applied to an existing business that just hasn't gone through that journey. And quite often you can double, triple, or sometimes more the value of those companies by adding those techniques in. So a lot of what I spend my time doing personally, other than teaching people how to buy businesses using other people's money and helping business owners scale, certainly when they post that startup, is I buy my own businesses. I buy businesses that are profitable. They're usually worth somewhere between $1 to $5 million. That means that they're generating, it depends what the size of it, but they can be generating at least $500K to $1 million of profit. So I've got some capital in there. And then the first thing I'll do is I'll just overhaul the whole marketing. I'll look at kind of who they're targeting now, who I can go and attract in the future. I'll look up and down the various components of what they're selling. What's the real problem that these business has existed to solve? And then the really cool thing about it is I'll know that there's a stable customer base that I can talk to and research and work out what to do next. And quite often these existing businesses have established brands. So I don't have to put as much money into the marketing, particularly on the brand development to create value from them. So it's not uncommon to buy a business for say 2 to 3 times its profit, add some more expertise around marketing. As I said, increase the value, increase that profitability, and then obviously sell that business for sometimes 5, 6, 7, 8, sometimes over 10 times the profit if you can create enough scale. So I think where I've focused my career has been on that scale up journey, right? I'm not a startup guy, I'm a scale up guy. And for me, it's the value that you can create in that midpoint, the midpoint being where you create the value before the exit, that can be incredibly lucrative. So if your goal ultimately is wealth creation, if your goal ultimately is I'm not necessarily wanting to go through all the chaos of startup, but I'm very interested in the value creation journey that happens through scale up, then I fundamentally suggest that you look at acquisitions. And the last thing I'll say is there's never been a better time to do this, right? There is 10,000 people per day retiring in North America alone. I don't know the UK stat, but it's a global phenomenon because of the baby boomers coming through and reaching retirement age. So therefore, you've got lots of them as business owners. They don't have succession plans. You can go and get these businesses, profitable, good businesses for very, very good prices. So good value, right? But you're not getting them for nothing. We need to be super clear, but you are getting them for, a lot less than they're probably worth, particularly when you can come in there and add some of the dimensions that I just spoke about. So that's the reason. As I said, nothing wrong with startup, nothing wrong with scale up generally, but have a look at acquisitions, whether you have an existing business and you want to grow faster, or whether you're about to start your entrepreneurial journey and you're starting to feel that startup isn't really for you. Definitely have a look at business acquisitions.